Hi guys, how's it going and all of that? So it's all been kicking off then, is it? Over on the other side. Let me just get rid of the double dragon, and we are going to have a look at this a little bit. We're not going to go into too much. There you go. I'm gonna keep the sound off. There you go. So this is the part, guys, at the start of the show and everything else. You know what I mean, with Becky having sound problems, you got Mike or Keemster, well, maybe both. I mean, they was trying to help Becky get the what you call sorted, the sound and everything going, the audio and all of that, and she eventually gets it going, despite yeah, I mean, you do hear like at the start of the show the donations coming through and everything else. Then, I mean, when she thought she got the sound coming through and all of that and everything, and yeah, I mean, this part you see like a kid behind the camera comes in and stuff like that. He sits down and you hear them saying that he breaks the sofa and stuff like that. But what doesn't help more than anything as well, which I noticed and so forth, just an observation, and so I know Tina's there to bring in the fire and all of that and so forth and everything, and the show was set up for her and all of that. But when you're trying to solve technical issues, you don't need somebody shouting. Because I remember, yeah, I mean, when I was sort of like learning on how to use a lighting board and a soundboard and stuff like that, you know what I mean? And you're there trying to learn it and stuff like that. And then you've got somebody shouting at you, and you're like, hey, can you please shut the fuck up and go away? You got to throw them out. You got to say, hey, no, out here. If you're not here to help to solve the issue, get out. You know what I mean? And because yeah, I mean, I learned some of my stuff when I was doing like performing arts and stuff like that, and then I took that off then into the real world, and I didn't. I have bought mixing boards and stuff like that over the years. You know what I mean, I've got one that's in storage right now. You know what I mean? So and when you're there trying to fiddle and do this, and try to sort something out and so forth, you don't want somebody shouting, and having to go at you and stuff like that. You know what I mean? You just want to get done and move on. That's all you want to do. You know what I mean? And, but what did we see later in the show? Not long after this, yeah, Psycho Mom comes in and she's basically saying, I mean, that Becky sent alcohol to the workplace and all of that and everything, and but here's the thing, right? Um, if my memory serves me correct and all that, I don't. I mean, I don't think they've. I mean, they've done. Well, they haven't mentioned the address of the place. You know what I mean, on Matthew Milker's, but I have heard them talking about. I work at this sort of place and all that, and so forth. And people, that I know in my circle of research community and stuff like that, right? If somebody wanted to find your address and so forth, you know what I mean? A person just by those details alone, on the show, they would narrow, that place down easily. They would have narrowed it down way too easily, because these are making it sound like it's hard. Uh, there you go. I'm not editing that out. Hold on. But yeah. Right, let's continue that and pause that. I'd go and cough, guys, and get that phlegm up. But anyway, but I mean, what Becky did sending that bottle to somebody who's on the sobriety, they've been sober for 4 years. Yeah, that is wrong. Was it a doxing and all that? What I can make up by what I'm hearing, and no, it wasn't a doxing. I mean, what I am hearing and stuff like that. Because, for one, there isn't evidence that Becky was the one that put the address out there. There's no evidence. Keem hasn't shown it, second mom hasn't shown it, Tina hasn't shown it, Mike hasn't shown it, and so forth. There's no evidence that she's the one that put it out there. I mean, this could be a script and all that as well. We mustn't forget that. But also, I mean, we must also sort of like, by Keem saying that, don't forget his own words. I mean, that he was setting, and he said it to Tina in previous shows, that he was setting Becky up to fall. What if this is going along with that storyline? I mean, if it is part of a script, if it's based in in real life, I mean, then whoever did leak that information out about her address and all that and so forth, I mean, they're the one that should get punished the most for handing that information over and going off and find out. Whoever, and the thing is as well, this is what none of these are thinking. What if the person handing the address over to Becky, knowing Becky is the one to, prank someone or whatever sort of thing, right? They knew all they gotta do is just hand the information, and then Becky would just send the bottle of drink across. But as somebody pointed out from the chat as well, second mum works at a place of alcohol. So if you're on a sobriety and all of that and so forth, wouldn't you stay away from places with alcohol? Would you not work at these places and so forth that have got alcohol? So they all can get on Becky's case and all that and so forth if this is not a script, right? If this is not a script, then they all are getting on Becky's case. If second mom was really that worried about her alcohol and all of that and so forth, then wouldn't you not work in a place that served alcohol? You know what I mean? It'd be like me. Let's say, because I know there's like certain food that I can't eat, right? So I don't eat it. I stay away from those places that serve that food in case that food ends up on my plate, and I gotta end up, that I end up in a hospital. Because I remember one summer, I was in school, and next minute I came out with all these rashes and stuff like that for no reason, right? And we found out by the doctor that I was allergic to one type of food. You know what I mean? So what's the one thing I do? I don't eat that food. I stay away from places. If I see it on the menu and so forth, I walk on by. Plain and simple. I don't go. I don't even give it that 1% chance on landing on my plate. If it somehow ends up near me and so forth, then it's a freak of fucking nature. You know what I mean? Say if somebody has grind it all up and so forth, turn it into a powder, and then puts it into a soup or whatever, and then it ends up in my. I take it and end up in a rash. I'm like, oh shit. I won't die, but I'll end up in a rash and all of that and so forth. From heavy, my throat will seize up a little bit. Apart from that, you know what I mean? But still, but yeah, you don't want to put yourself in those positions. And working in it sounds like a whorehouse, right? But there is going to be alcohol and all that. There is going to be perverts and all of that and so forth. And you know what I mean? And to put it this way, put it this way, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter if Becky sent it or not. She's gonna have a pervert follow her home or not. You know what I mean? Think about it. That working in a whorehouse, you're always gonna have that chance of a fucking pervert. You know what I mean, gonna be following you home no matter what. You're always gonna have that chance. Okay. So there's a lot more. You know what I mean? And the thing is as well, what if one of the people that's in the Discord before all this happened previously went to one of Psycho Mom's, went to her club. You know what I mean? And that's how they know where she lives. Think about it. And what if something went down, previously? This is just speculation, guys. This is what I'm saying here. And and what if they wanted paid back on Psycho Mom and they used Becky to get paid back on Psycho Mom? You know what I mean? Or whatever. You know what I mean? Like I said earlier, you know what I mean? There's people I know. You know what I mean? That and and the amount of people I know that do research and they're good at finding things out and so forth. Let's say if one of us, pissed with each other off, sort of thing. Oh, we would find each other's, addresses and all that within 5 minutes or less. You know what I mean? That's a good the circle of people that I know. You know what I mean? We would find it within 5 minutes. You know what I mean? But the thing is, I mean, there needs to be evidence, proper evidence, not this manufactured evidence that I see a lot of the time going on to screw people over. It needs to be proper, genuine, 100% truthful evidence. None of this pissing in the wind fucking nonsense I see a lot of, going on these days. You know what I mean? So, so, I mean, by Keem already given the person coming forward immunity, that they've done like a Lisbon Treaty type of thing. They do it like an Orwellian, you're guilty before any evidence and all of that comes forth to show if you're innocent or guilty. You know what I mean? I mean I mean yes, she admitted that she sent the bottle and all of that and so forth and everything. But I mean, the person who sort of like give the address in the first place, why ain't they getting punished? Think about that. Yeah, I mean, think of it. Cause if I mean if Becky didn't have the address, then Becky then would not been able to have sent the ball. Plain and simple. You know what I mean, if plain and simple as that. If Becky didn't know the address, if Becky did know the address, because I mean, if she did go and research it and all that. But the thing is, I mean, they can't put this fully on Becky and all that because the clues that I was hearing as well on Matthew Milkers. I mean, if I went back to the show, with the show, and then started writing those down, and then started, I would find that place as well. But I'm not an arsehole that way. So I mean, I only go after the globalists and stuff like that, and so forth. But end of the days, I mean, I go after like real proper evil people. You know what I mean, but end of the day, there's a lot more to it than this. I mean, there's a lot more to it. I mean, even says, yeah, the Queens gets ambushed. Look at the title, the Queens gets ambushed. So that's why people are saying it could be scripted because even the title says the Queens gets ambushed, and you look at the and on top of that, they see the people in the chat as stupid anyway. When you think about it, yeah, I mean, we hear Keem saying quite a lot of times, "Oh, a lot of people in the chat don't know what they're talking about." You see that quite a lot. You know what I mean? Despite now and again, I mean, they go release the peasants. You know what I mean, for him to whitewash the way the L Keems. You know what I mean, so he has W Keems and all that. You know what I mean, you get that going on. I mean, so I mean, and just like them, I've been on the YouTube. I mean, well, I've been on YouTube since 2006, and haven't bothered making my name on YouTube because YouTube is linked to the very groups of people that me and a lot of us are actually exposing. I mean, those at YouTube headquarters, those at Facebook headquarters, those at TikTok headquarters, those at a lot of these headquarters are all linked on basically, making sure the narrative goes in the way of things like the World Economic Forum and all of them and so forth. So, I mean, I'm not about making a name, but all I'm about, guys, is fairness. And what I am seeing at what I saw on the show, basically, you need. I mean, he cannot give somebody immunity straight off the bat like that, because end of the day, I mean, if you're after the culprit who got the address and all that and so forth and everything, I mean, because end of the day, the both, are complicit and so forth. But what needs to be looked at more than anything, I mean, if they are out for the person who doxed, then you go for the person who leaked the address. You don't go for somebody who basically just sent a gift. I mean, just sending a gift to a workplace, that's not leaking some of that address. It's the person that handed the address to somebody else is leaking the address. You know what I mean? Because what I could make out by listening to the show, all she did was somebody handed Becky the address, handed to her, not her leaking it out to somebody else. And therefore, I mean, she did not dox. She didn't go on a YouTube channel and put the address out there. She didn't go and tell people in Discord this is Psycho Mum's address. She didn't go around doing all of that. It was somebody else, by what I can make out from this show. I mean, give her the address. I mean, it doesn't matter what we think. I mean, it doesn't matter what Keem thinks, Tina thinks, Psycho Mum thinks. I mean, because they think, she's lying, because Becky does lie. Uh, then again, so there's a lot of them. I mean, but we all know Boogie lies as well. Despite I love that guy, he's funny as hell. But anyway, and he likes wieners at the moment. Sorry, Bug. But anyway, but yeah, it's But end of the day, like Keem said, I mean, Tina is Tina is going to be the star of the Lolcow Queens, and Keem was going to build up Becky to be this absolute monster to the point where Tina will take down Becky. Is that the moment of the script? Just saying, because Keem has got his wish. End of the day. Yeah, I mean, so basically, yeah, I mean, could the fans say, hey, well, you did put her in this position, Keem, to become this monster and all of that and so forth and everything? People did, she wasn't on her own. She did have people egg her on. End of the day, she did have a couple people to turn her into this, to bring this out of her. I mean, she's not on her own with this one. So I mean, so she can't be the what they would say. I mean, in the world of the deep state and all that, a scapegoat. She can't be the scapegoat because she got basically put into this position and she got egged on to become this, what we see here, this evil cow, persona. I mean, and I mean, maybe you know what I mean. In her eyes, that she thought she was just sending a bottle of alcohol as a prank, and that's it. And then everybody else is making a mountain out of a molehill. Oh, I know what that is like, guys. And you know, I mean, where people, you know, what I mean, well, can get things wrong and so forth. I have been in that position which we can talk about another time. But yeah, to be honest, if you haven't got the evidence, you know what I mean, and plus, because Becky has been set up where they hate it, we are going to have a lot of people coming forward going to be lying pieces of shit to go along with Keem's narrative where Becky is set up to be this monster for Tina to overthrow Becky. We know that's coming. But anyway, take care, guys, and have a good day. Just remember, make sure you got a lot of food, water, and everything else. And don't be a heartless piece of shit like the globalists. Take care. Goodbye, guys.